His signings who've made an immediate impact since leaving Liverpool are Ray Houghton and Dean Saunders. Prior to their time together at Anfield, they were teammates in the First Division at the Manor ground. Maurice Evans, once Oxford's manager and still on their coaching staff, signed both players. Saunders scored him some outstanding goals. Ray Houghton scored one of the 3 goals that gave Oxford the League Cup final in 1986, beating Queen's Park Rangers.
I can remember going there, I think it was, 84, 83, and when Jim Smith was manager, and when I was at Manchester United, we'd just, the previous year we'd been the beaten finalists in the League Cup, and we were cup holders, and we went a spell of 20 games with only 2 defeats. One at Oxford, 3rd division at the time, and one at Bournemouth in the FA Cup. And in that time we beat teams like Barcelona, Dukla Prague, Juventus, and there were only 2 defeats. So I know only too well the risks of going to these places.
Oxford are a very good team. I mean, I think we've had them watch quite a bit, and I think that shows you, how much we're going to take this game. They're a good team. You've got Jimmy McGilton, who used to be at Liverpool when I was there, and Jimmy's an excellent player, and he's been the star so far this season. So we'll have to watch out for him. But we're playing well at the moment, and we're confident over 2 legs that we can beat them.
We always used to try and play down the hill second half, and it was difficult for teams to get out of that right wing corner down the bottom. I suppose it'll still be the same now. It's always difficult to play at Oxford. We used to fancy ourselves against anybody.
And there's action from Oxford is Alan Parry.
Oxford, the city of learning, provided the perfect football education for some of tonight's famous students of the game. Ron Atkinson and his assistant Jim Barron played here in the 60s when Oxford first became members of the Football League. Dean Saunders had 3 seasons here and fetched Oxford's biggest ever fee when they sold him to Derby. And Ray Houghton scored one of the goals on the greatest day in Oxford's history when they won the League Cup 6 years ago. Villa's expensive lineup is not surprisingly unchanged after Saturday's defeat of Liverpool. And there's another Oxford connection in midfield. Gary Parker was actually born here but never played for United. Incidentally, it's 15 years since Villa won this trophy. The home side have their own current stars, and players like Jim McGilton and Joey Beecham would fetch big transfer fees tomorrow if Oxford chose to sell them. Just one change from the team which drew at Swindon on Sunday. David Collins replaces the injured Mike Ford at left back. Tonight's referee is Roger Wiseman from Hertfordshire. Well, the prospect of a really great tie here. Villa are buzzing at the moment. Oxford a better team than their league position suggests, and a terrific atmosphere. Aston Villa in claret and blue, of course, the white shorts attacking from left to right down the slope. Richardson, the captain. And now Barrett chipping it forward, looking for Dean Saunders, who predictably gets a few boos. The fans are used to cheer him. Richardson turning it into the far post, and Gary Smart had to turn it behind for the first corner of the game. Les Seeley on the bench for Villa tonight. Nothing to do with any injury to Nigel Spink. Ron Atkinson assures me he wants him there because he feels it's wise for a cup tie, and if he has to play him in an outfield position, says Ron, he will. It's a dangerous corner, though it had just crossed the line. Goal kick. Melville. That's an excellent ball. It was just spotted in the nick of time by Paul McGrath. Almost came off, and that one might come off, but the linesman has flagged John Durnin offside again. Richardson. Now McGrath. And the Villa captain just threads it through to Houghton. Good play by Daly and Atkinson, forcing it wide to Saunders. And then it goes back towards Atkinson, and he didn't really get the header right. That was the first real opening we've seen. Staunton, intercepted by Lewis, and now Durnin. Oh, that was good play by Staunton, because otherwise Beecham here would have been free on the right. But Jilton plays it forward to Penny. They're still threatening here, Oxford. Earl Barrett gets the clearance, and Oxford get the throw. Durnin, Gilton. Tried to be a bit too clever then. Collins won it back. Lewis, Durnin turns away from the defenders and gets the shot in. And Spink had to go full stretch to save that one from John Durnin. Best opening so far for Oxford. Durnin cleverly setting up the chance. Good goalkeeping by Spink. Gilton turns it back. Collins was unlucky, then it deflected straight to Daly and Atkinson. And he's got a shooting chance here. Atkinson just over the bar, and for that Oxford have to thank Mickey Lewis, because the little man in midfield got a vital challenge in then as Daly and Atkinson was setting himself up for the shot, and had he not made that tackle, I think that Atkinson would have scored. Houghton. A bit optimistic. Parker made something of it though. In fact, he's got a corner out of it as Collins made the tackle. David Collins replacing the injured Mike Ford at left back, played the first 3 games of the season in midfield. He's essentially a central defender, very useful guy to have around. Corner comes into Parker, back it goes to Houghton, chances here, good goalkeeping by Keith. Did really well there, Paul Key, the Northern Ireland international, as Houghton drove that one in low. Got it back from Parker, and this one could have gone anywhere. And Oxford deal well with the corner. That one brushed aside by Froggatt, but the 19-year-old couldn't make anything of the opening. Barrett. Infield to Richardson, and he tried to chip it back to Barrett, who took it spectacularly and wins the corner as Collins took it off his toe. Took that at full stretch then, Earl Barrett, very athletic. Parker will take this one. It's good towards McGrath, he got the downward header, and it was cleared off the line as Parker and Saunders both got involved in the melee. Saunders' final shot from McGrath's downward header. Another corner, the pressure now on Oxford. And it was Barrett who got up highest, but a goal kick is the final outcome. Good pressure here by Aston Villa. The corner floated in, McGrath with a terrific header, Saunders, and I think it was Smart, was it? No, it was Melville who got it off the line in the end. Staunton. Well, they got a corner unexpectedly. Gary Smart under a bit of pressure then. Richardson signals his intention, and it's Teal who gets up on the far post, and it hit the bar. Finally away by Lewis, although the danger hasn't gone yet. Houghton plays it back in towards Saunders, and beleaguered times these for Oxford, under real pressure here. Well, Villa have come desperately close to scoring. Nothing closer than that header by Teal. In fact, it was headed against the underside of the bar by the defender. Durnin has got himself into space here. Teal, the covering defender. Beecham. Now Smart. And that's a foul. Oxford's free kick. Foul by Froggatt. They'll be grateful for that, Oxford. It relieves some of the pressure on their goal. And it gives them an opportunity to send Evans and Melville forward. Two big centre-backs. Oh, and McGrath was responsible. Could easily have been a goal. It's a strange incident, that, because McGrath went for it, didn't actually make contact. First time ball by Parker. Atkinson is on the left. It's an excellent ball from Parker. Atkinson's got the pace to trouble them here and pulls it back to Saunders. Oh dear. What an embarrassing miss by Dean Saunders in front of his old fans. Daly and Atkinson did brilliantly here and set it up. Villa's record signing has to agree that was a bad miss. Good header away by McGrath, finds Atkinson. Froggatt's lay off to Staunton. Parker. Well, Beecham did well for Oxford then, and that's good play by the youngster. And a good ball as well. In it goes first time towards Penny. McGrath just got in the way first. Still Penny though. And still. And still. Well, that's a dramatic way to end a very entertaining first 45 minutes. Villa may have had most of the play. Oxford had their moments and hit the post. A lot of football left in this tie. Half-time at the Manor ground. Oxford United 0, Aston Villa 0. Well, Oxford United get the second half underway. 0-0 here at half-time. Oxford now attacking down the slope. And the Villa manager, Ron Atkinson, who played over 400 games for Oxford United in the 60s, knows how difficult it can be to defend against the home team coming down this sloping pitch, which actually drops 7 foot, would you believe, from one corner to the other. Best way to defend is to do what they're doing now. Attack. Froggatt. Staunton. Gary Parker. Looking for Daly and Atkinson in the box. It flicked off the head of Jim Magilton, and Paul Key did very well. Or did he? No, it obviously just gone over the line. I thought he'd prevented it. The referee was on hand to say corner. It's Villa's 6th corner of the game. Good indication of some of the pressure they've had. Well, Oxford came back strongly towards the end of the first half. And good handling again by Paul Key. He's only 22, Paul Key. They bought him from Ards, the Northern Ireland club, and he really has made this position his own. Drops for Allen. Barrett in quickly this time, but Magilton's there and finds Durnin. The ball for Lewis. Evans straight back in. Allen inevitably had straight offside. Now Allen will use his speed again to try and trouble Earl Barrett here. Barrett's had to pass back, but I think he was quite happy to do that, and as the ball was cleared upfield by Spink, Daly and Atkinson was offside. Oxford get on with it quickly. Very smart. Penny. Beecham. Into Durnin. McGrath with another excellent piece of defending. Atkinson. He doesn't mind running all the way. That's a great tackle by Lewis. But it comes to Froggatt for Villa. Richardson. Parker turning it in, inviting Houghton to get forward, and Melville had to concede the throw. Villa, for the moment anyway, back in the driving seat here. Out off Collins for a corner. Collins takes up his defensive position, and Villa send McGrath and Teal forward. Andel Barrett, three of the back four. McGrath won the header. It's still not out of danger from Oxford's point of view, and it's gone in! McGrath, the man who forced the ball home, and Key just saw it fly past his outstretched arm, and Aston Villa are in front. 8 minutes gone in the second half. McGrath won the first header and made sure the second was going to be his. It was a typical piece of tenacious play from Paul McGrath. 2 successive headers he won through sheer determination. Collins. Chilton again. Evans. Offside, Dean Saunders in the middle. Good early free kick in, and again McGrath is there commanding in the air to knock it away. But here's Durnin. Good effort against the crossbar. So unlucky, John Durnin. A brilliant shot this. Really struck it fiercely right against the bar. And Oxford so unlucky not to draw level. Oh, good layout from Saunders, Froggatt. Atkinson just took a shade too long, but he's kept it well, and Saunders, and still Saunders. Turned back then by Houghton, and somehow Oxford have managed to survive. And they break themselves with Allen. And he's done well here, but just didn't have the impetus to keep going. He was tackled on the halfway line by Teal, and the referee has said it was a foul tackle. Free kick to Oxford. But Villa really ought to have increased their lead here. Daly and Atkinson doing well to hold it up. And look at this, as the ball sprung out to Dean Saunders, he really ought to have found the target. Magilton for Oxford. Well, Dean Saunders, who had 3 seasons here before his move to Derby, has missed 2, maybe 3 good openings tonight. McGrath, who hasn't missed a thing. Atkinson. What a great little battler Mickey Lewis is. Felt he should have had a free kick then, but the referee lays play on. This is Parker. This is dangerous. And that could well have been a goal. He's in good form at the moment, Gary Parker. 4 goals already this season. Always willing to go at defenders and possesses a good shot. the ball given away to Houghton. Atkinson. Dean Saunders. Houghton, he's offside. He wouldn't have counted. Hasn't scored too many headers anyway. Hasn't yet scored, of course, since leaving Liverpool to join Aston Villa. Good counter-attack this by Oxford. And then it goes to Beecham. He might well have scored then, the youngster. He certainly found room, but couldn't find the accuracy to beat Spink. And the 21-year-old Joey Beecham drifted beautifully into space here, but the left-foot shot not quite accurate enough. Now Dean Saunders, this looks promising for Villa. They've got 5 men forward, in fact. Froggatt. It's a difficult cross for the goalkeeper. Very difficult. The fans behind the goal, who need an aid, come mainly from the Birmingham area, are claiming that one went over the line, but I'm sure it didn't. One of those wicked crosses that always put goalkeepers in 2 minds. He certainly held it the right side of the line, didn't he? Villa's free kick. Houghton has Allen right on his toes. Barrett. Now Parker. That's a good-looking ball for Houghton. Danger here. There should have been. Although they got a corner out of it, maybe Aston Villa will feel they could have had more than that. Still a corner might be enough because they've given Oxford quite a few problems on these kicks so far. Keeper beaten to it by Dean Saunders. Another corner results. Another one for Key to come and claim, but he didn't. And Teal shoots through a crowd of players and it's in. It went off Paul Key from Teal's shot. He'll want to claim it because he's only ever once scored before for Aston Villa in this competition against Grimsby last season. But I'm afraid it was Paul Key who must take the blame for that. He missed the cross initially, Teal's shot, and it went clearly off the goalkeeper's legs and into the net. I think really you have to say that's an own goal by Paul Key, whether Teal claims it or not. He won't want it though. Atkinson back on his old stamping ground, very pleased at the way his new team have dealt with the problems Oxford have posed. Collins. Well, they're committing so many men into attack at the moment, Oxford, to try and pull at least 1 goal back, that you fear, from their point of view, that Villa could easily counter-attack and get a 3rd here, and that really would finish the match off. Staunton. This is Parker, sets it up for Richardson. Good shot. Not quite good enough to beat Paul Key, though. And the Villa captain hasn't found his best form tonight. Almost found the net then. The Premier League team comfortably in control. Threatening another goal now. It's Staunton's cross. Oh, 1 touch there from Dwight York would have been enough. Good work by Steve Staunton. Excellent work down the left. What about this for the perfect cross? Whipped in hard and low. Jilton. Smart hits it first time. McGrath, as ever, is underneath it, though that wasn't his best clearing header. Oxford get a throw as we move into the final few minutes of the game. Lewis. Beecham. Lewis, could this be one for Oxford? He hit it straight against Spink, although the goalkeeper did well to stand tall on that near post. Allen has kept it in far side. Collins flicked on, and dangerous. Durning goes in, still Durning, and Teal turns it away. A corner. Oxford's best moment of the second half. And unlucky that it did not produce a goal. Lewis here seemed to do everything right, but so did Spink. Saunders again. It's a good ball for Froggatt. Dwight York calling for it far post, but it's overhit the cross a little. Houghton's kept it in, mind you. Richardson, Villa's captain, finds Parker. York. Houghton now. There's a mistake by Villa, which has suddenly enabled Oxford to counter-attack with Durning. And he did well to get it through to Penny then. He takes on McGrath, Beecham, and again, yes! Oxford finally get a goal. Just over a minute to go. Beecham at the second attempt. It stemmed from a mistake by Villa when they had possession inside the Oxford half. The cross picking out Beecham, the first header cleared, the second shot into the roof of the net. And Oxford at least have something to show, and who knows how important that goal might be now. And Horton's team were to a 2-0 reverse. They've turned it into 2-1. Teal. That's the end of a good cup tie here at the Manor ground, and Joey Beecham's goal, with just over a minute to go, has given Oxford something to cheer and something to look forward to now when they go to Villa Park in a fortnight's time. Paul McGrath scoring Villa's first. Sean Teal maybe will claim the second, which went in off goalkeeper Paul Key. Villa, in truth, dominated the second half, but Oxford got a goal that probably their first half performance merited. Final scoreline then: Oxford United 1, Aston Villa 2.
What did you think of the Villa performance tonight, Ron?
Professional. I mean, at the end of the day, we probably should have won. Probably true reflection should have been about 8-3 or something like that today. I mean, we've had plenty of situations. They had a couple of occasions when they've hit their woodwork. But I suppose we give ourselves a little bit more to do than we really ought to have done, you know, with that the last-minute goal of theirs.
I don't want to make yourself look silly by predicting anything, but I mean, surely 2-1 away from home to come home to is a good position on a two-legged tie.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that beforehand, but I mean, on the evidence of the game, I mean, we've controlled the game virtually, I would guess, for well, certainly for 75% of the game, and yet we've left ourselves maybe on not a knife edge, but we're in a decent position, but there's still plenty of playing to be done.
Do you think the players lose their edge a bit when they know that it's over two legs? And do you think the tie loses something? It's a much better knockout situation. Not
necessarily. I mean, I think what happens, I think sometimes, I mean, if you look at some of the results that have happened in the first legs of this, you know, this particular year's tournament, you know, Liverpool, Sheffield United and people like that, I think Everton tonight have possibly not had the best result they could have hoped for.
But they get a second chance, though, don't they? Instead of
yeah, you get a second bite of the cherry, but what it does mean, of course, is like today, if you're talking about a one-leg thing, then if it was a straight knockout tonight, Oxford would be out the competition. Now they've got another throw of the dice.